Most alkaline forming food you can put into your body is the lemon. And you might say, no, the lemon is acid. It is. And it's acid where it should be. There's only one part of our body that should be acid, and that is stomach. It must be acid, because only in an acid environment can those little protein bonds all be broken up. If someone says, I have a very acid stomach, my question is, how do you know? I can feel it. The problem's not acidity. The problem is maybe you're dehydrated and you don't have that nice thick mucosa lining.
If you're waking up tired even after 8 hours of sleep, getting hungry again just 2 hours after eating, or noticing your thinking gets foggy around mid-afternoon, then what I'm about to share could explain everything. I'm going to be straight with you. What most people are told about blood sugar control is incomplete at best and sometimes flat out misleading. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your blood sugar may spike even when eating healthy foods, why meal timing matters more than you think, and most importantly, the simple framework that can stabilize your energy within 3 weeks. Have you noticed your energy levels aren't what they used to be? Drop your answer in the comments. Here's what I see in my practice all the time. People follow the same dietary advice they've heard for decades. Whole grains, fruit smoothies, low-fat yogurt, all considered healthy. But nobody tells them that after 60, these foods can trigger blood sugar spikes that damage blood vessels, accelerate cognitive decline, and set you up for insulin resistance. The problem isn't the food itself. It's the pattern of how and when you eat it. About halfway through this video, I'll reveal one specific vegetable in almost every healthy eating guide, a vegetable most people eat thinking it's good for blood sugar. But after 60, it can spike your glucose faster than a candy bar. I guarantee this will surprise you. But first, let me tell you about Vincent. Vincent was 72, a retired postal worker, fit, not overweight, walked every morning, and did everything right. But every afternoon around 2 or 3, he would hit a wall, brain fog so thick he couldn't remember his grandkids' names. His hands shook slightly, and he felt ravenous even after lunch 3 hours earlier. He tried everything: whole wheat bread, more vegetables, cutting out sugar completely. Nothing worked. His doctor ran blood work. Fasting glucose was fine. A 1C was fine. Everything looked normal. Everyone missed the actual problem. When we did continuous glucose monitoring, we discovered Vincent's blood sugar spiked to 180, sometimes 200, after meals. But here's the kicker. It wasn't spiking after dessert or pasta. It was spiking after his healthy breakfast. He started his day with a big bowl of steel-cut oatmeal topped with banana and orange juice, then went for a walk. Sounds perfect, right? But the sequence was destroying his blood sugar control. To understand why, you need to know something fundamental about your pancreas and muscle cells after age 60. Most people think aging metabolism is just slowing down, but it's actually more like a communication breakdown between your organs. Your pancreas makes insulin, the hormone that tells your cells to absorb glucose. When you're younger, this system is incredibly responsive. As you age, your muscle cells become less sensitive to insulin. Think of them as becoming hard of hearing. The insulin knocks, but the cells don't answer as quickly. Your pancreas compensates by producing more insulin, knocking louder. This works for a while, but it's inefficient. Over time, your pancreas gets tired. Meanwhile, your muscle mass decreases, so you have fewer cells to absorb glucose. Eventually, blood sugar spikes higher and crashes lower than when you were younger. Most doctors tell you to eat healthy and exercise. That's not wrong, but it's incomplete. They miss that when you eat matters as much as what you eat. The real problem is naked carbs, eating carbohydrates without the protection of protein, fat, and fiber to slow absorption. After 60, your body can't handle rapid glucose influx. These spikes, even if your fasting numbers look normal, damage your blood vessels, kidneys, brain, and heart every time they happen. What's really destroying your metabolic health after 60 is the timing and sequencing of carbohydrate consumption without metabolic buffering. You don't need diabetes or pre-diabetes for this damage. You only need repeated glucose spikes above 140 milligrams per deciliter, which happens to millions of people over 60 with completely normal standard blood work. When you eat carbs alone, especially in the morning when cortisol is already elevated, your blood sugar shoots up. Your pancreas dumps insulin, but because your cells are resistant, glucose stays elevated longer. It glycates proteins, damages blood vessel linings, and creates oxidative stress in your brain. Then, because you've released so much insulin, your blood sugar crashes lower than where it started, triggering hunger, fatigue, and cravings for more carbs. It's a vicious cycle. Standard blood tests miss this pattern entirely. Fasting glucose and A1C don't tell you about daily spikes and crashes. Someone can have a fasting glucose of 95 and A1C of 5.6. Their doctor says no diabetes, but they're exhausted, gaining belly fat, forgetting words, and feeling 20 years older. The spikes are the problem, not the averages. Where are these dangerous naked carb patterns hiding? Number 1, the heart-healthy breakfast. Oatmeal with fruit and orange juice, whole grain toast with jam, a fruit smoothie. You're consuming 60 to 80 grams of carbs with virtually no protein or fat. Your blood sugar rockets to 170 or 180, your pancreas goes into overdrive, and by mid-morning, you're crashing and reaching for a granola bar. Number 2, the afternoon pick-me-up. That 3 o'clock slump hits hard, but pretzels, crackers, an apple, or a granola bar spike your blood sugar again without protection. You get a temporary boost, followed by an even harder crash 30 to 40 minutes later. Number 3, the light dinner mistake. Many over 60 eat just a salad with crackers, soup, and bread, or pasta with vegetables, carb heavy with minimal protein. Your blood sugar spikes before bed, disrupting sleep. Here's an aha moment. If you're waking up sweating at night or using the bathroom 2 or 3 times, most people think it's hot flashes or a bladder problem, but it might be nighttime blood sugar spikes. High blood sugar at night makes your body dump excess glucose through your kidneys. That's why you pee more. When your blood sugar crashes in the early morning, you get night sweats as stress hormones kick in. I've had countless patients, especially women, convinced they had menopause symptoms. We stabilized their dinner blood sugar, and within 2 weeks, the night sweats and frequent urination stopped completely. Number 4, the vegetable I mentioned, cooked carrots. I know this sounds crazy. Carrots are nutritious, but when cooked, their glycemic index doubles. A raw carrot has a GI around 30, a cooked carrot nearly 70, higher than table sugar. Many people over 60 have carrot soup, steamed carrots, or carrot juice, thinking it's virtuous. Without protein or fat, those cooked carrots hit your bloodstream like pure glucose. I've seen blood sugar readings of 170 to 190 after a bowl of carrot soup with crackers. Does this mean no more carrots? No. But eat cooked carrots with grilled chicken, salmon, or in a stew with meat and beans. Never alone, never as a light meal. Raw carrots are fine. Their fiber structure slows absorption. Cooking is what makes them problematic after 60. Number 5, hidden dehydration. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated, so the same amount of glucose creates a higher reading, like dissolving sugar in half a cup of water versus a full cup. After 60, your thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive. You can be significantly dehydrated without feeling thirsty. I've had patients whose morning fasting glucose was 20 to 30 points higher simply because they weren't drinking enough water. The fix: drink 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning, before coffee or anything else. Then aim for 6 to 8 cups throughout the day. Your blood sugar will improve just from better hydration. Let me tell you about Beverly, 68, a retired teacher. Her brain fog got so bad she stopped playing bridge because she couldn't remember which cards had been played. Testing showed her blood sugar spiked above 190 after breakfast, but stayed stable after dinner. Her breakfast was cereal with skim milk and a banana, pure carbs. Her blood sugar spiked within 40 minutes, crashed by 10:30, leaving her foggy and exhausted. But dinner, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, and a small portion of quinoa had protein and fat that slowed everything down. Once we restructured her breakfast to include 2 eggs, avocado, and berries, within 2 weeks, her morning brain fog disappeared. Within a month, she was back to playing cards twice a week. She told me, "I honestly thought I was developing dementia. I'd started looking at assisted living facilities. Now I feel like myself again. It's like someone turned the lights back on in my brain. That's the difference between eating for your chronological age versus your metabolic age. After 60, you can't get away with patterns that worked in your 40s. I need to be honest. Insulin resistance and blood sugar dysregulation don't reverse overnight. Your cells don't suddenly become perfectly sensitive again after years of spikes. That's not how biology works. But you can stabilize your blood sugar patterns, eliminate spikes and crashes, and protect your brain and blood vessels starting this week. Here's my exact framework. The most important principle: never eat carbohydrates naked after 60. Not avoid carbs, not count every gram, but never eat them without protein and fat to buffer absorption. Protein and fat slow gastric emptying, so glucose enters your bloodstream gradually instead of flooding in. Think of it like soil. Dump a bucket of water. Most runs off. Use slow drip irrigation. The soil absorbs every drop. Your body after 60 is that soil. It can't handle the flood anymore. If you want oatmeal, eat 2 scrambled eggs first, or mix protein powder and almond butter into the oatmeal. Want an apple? Pair it with almonds or string cheese. That cuts the glucose spike by 30 to 40%. Having pasta? Start with a salad dressed with olive oil and grilled chicken, then eat your pasta. Studies show this can reduce the glucose spike by up to 50%, even with the same foods in the same amounts. Consider Leonard, 74. He gained weight around his middle despite eating less than ever. He was tired all the time. His wife said he fell asleep in his chair by 7 p.m. His routine was carbs from morning to night. Toast with honey, banana mid-morning, sandwich with chips for lunch, apple or crackers for snack, pasta with marinara for dinner. Every meal created a glucose spike and insulin surge. His body was constantly in storage mode, never fat burning. We made 4 changes: 2 eggs with spinach before his toast, Greek yogurt with berries instead of a banana, a turkey and cheese wrap with vegetables, half the bread, double the protein, dinner starting with grilled salmon and broccoli, then a smaller pasta portion. Within 3 weeks, he lost 4 pounds without trying. Within 6 weeks, 9 pounds, 2 inches off his waist, and his doctor reduced his blood pressure medication. He said, "I thought I needed to give up everything I liked. Turns out I just needed to add the right things and eat them in a different order. I feel 10 years younger." What about social situations? You don't need to announce anything. Be strategic. Grab olive oil or butter from the bread basket first. Start with vegetables or salad. Even a handful of nuts from your purse before the meal helps. At restaurants, order protein and vegetables first. Eat half of that, then your pasta or rice. Nobody notices. One patient keeps small packets of almond butter in her purse and eats one in the car before dessert. You can still enjoy life. You just need protective strategies. Here's your 5-step action plan. Step 1, master the protein first sequence. Eat protein and fat first. Wait 5 minutes if you can, then eat carbs. Protein triggers hormones that slow digestion and improve insulin sensitivity. The same hormones expensive diabetes drugs try to mimic. Tomorrow morning, eat 2 eggs or Greek yogurt, then your toast or oatmeal. That alone can reduce your glucose spike by 30 to 45%. Don't alternate bites. Timing matters. Aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Step 2. Add vinegar to high-carb meals. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water before a high-carb meal reduces the glucose spike by 20 to 30%. The acetic acid slows starch breakdown. Drink it 15 minutes before eating or use regular vinegar in salad dressing. Always dilute it to protect tooth enamel. Step 3. Get strategic with key nutrients: chromium, magnesium, and alpha-lipoic acid. Chromium helps insulin work more efficiently. Magnesium is involved in over 300 metabolic processes. Alpha-lipoic acid is a powerful antioxidant that improves insulin sensitivity. Warning: don't take handfuls of supplements without talking to your doctor, especially if you're on diabetes medication. These nutrients can lower blood sugar and your dosage may need adjustment. Step 4. Move your body at the right time. You don't need a gym. Movement within 30 to 60 minutes after eating, especially after your largest carb-containing meal, is key. A 15-minute walk after lunch and dinner activates muscles to absorb glucose without insulin. One study showed that a 15-minute post-meal walk reduces 24-hour blood sugar averages more effectively than a single 45-minute walk at any other time. Step 5. Track patterns, not just numbers. Fasting glucose isn't enough after 60. Consider a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks, even if not diabetic. Pay attention to how you feel 1 to 2 hours after eating. Brain fog, sudden fatigue, or intense hunger signal a crash after a spike. Keep a simple journal of what you ate, in what order, and how you felt 90 minutes later. Patterns will emerge quickly. Critical warnings: if you take diabetes, blood pressure, or blood thinner medication, do not make dramatic dietary changes without talking to your doctor. Improving blood sugar control can make your medication work too well, causing dangerous lows. I've had patients whose metformin dosage needed to be cut in half. That's good, but needs medical supervision. If you have kidney disease, don't dramatically increase protein without your nephrologist's approval. Start with one change, usually the protein first sequence. Track your response for a week, then add another step. Don't guess with this stuff. Let me share Joyce's story. She was 67, terrified because her mother developed Alzheimer's at 72, and Joyce noticed the same symptoms: forgetting appointments, losing her train of thought mid-sentence, walking into rooms and not remembering why. Her life was consumed by fear. Every doctor said memory decline was normal aging, but with continuous glucose monitoring and consistent protein-first eating, strategic movement, and better sleep from stabilized nighttime blood sugar, things shifted. It took 6 weeks. Gradually, her afternoon brain fog lifted, her word finding improved, and her anxiety eased. She told me her granddaughter said, "Grandma, you're so much more fun now. You remember all our games." Joyce is now planning a trip to Italy. That's what this is about. Not numbers on a blood test, but living fully, staying sharp, being present, and not living in fear of decline. This isn't just about blood sugar. It's about waking up with energy, remembering your grandkids' stories, making plans with confidence, staying independent. When blood sugar dysregulation progresses untreated, you get daily crashes and brain fog, leading to reduced activity, muscle loss, worse insulin resistance, then prediabetes, diabetes, and complications, vision problems, kidney damage, neuropathy, cardiovascular disease. I've watched too many patients over 60 lose their independence, not because they were destined to decline, but because nobody explained that blood sugar spikes were the root cause. By the time you're diagnosed with diabetes, you've already had damaging spikes for years, possibly a decade. Your window of prevention is now, not when your A1C crosses 6.5, not when you're prescribed metformin. Now, while you still have metabolic flexibility, here's what I want you to do. Not a 6-month plan, just 3 days. For the next 3 mornings, change your breakfast sequence. Protein first, carbs after. 2 eggs before your toast, Greek yogurt before your oatmeal, whatever works, but protein first. On the evening of day 3, notice your mental clarity. How sharp do you feel? How's your energy compared to your usual afternoon slump? If you notice a difference, even a small one, come back here and leave one word in the comments. Yes. That's it. Just yes. Because your one small step over 3 days could change the next 20 years of your life. It could be the difference between declining and thriving, between watching life pass by and actively living it. So will you do it? Will you give yourself this 3-day test? If what I shared helped you, drop a comment. Tell me what resonated and what questions you still have. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone struggling with energy, brain fog, or worry about their future health. Remember, the fatigue and mental fog you're experiencing aren't just normal aging you have to accept. They're signals your body is sending you.